Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's Prof Education. We are talking today about COVID, what's happened historically, where we are right now prophetically, and what we need to do very quickly to align with the Spirit of God.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's
Prophet. I'm just going to try and get rid of that noise in the background. Please join us by hitting the share button, hitting the like button, letting me know where it is in the world that you are coming in from this Thursday evening. And thank you for spending this Thursday with me. I'm grateful for that. Please, once you hit the like, once you've hit the share, I will give you a shout out this evening, just so you know that I'm live. Let me know where you're coming in from around the world. I want to share what the Spirit of God has been speaking to me about. Many of you will know that we have crossed into a new season that is being called the new normal. And you know, there was a video because somebody said to me during 2020, they said, how come you didn't see COVID-19 in 2020? If you met me and the ministry of the prophetic in me in 2020, just say that's about when I found you. If you're a 2020 person that met me during COVID, you found out about the ministry during COVID, just let me know that's where you found out about the ministry. Many of you would have met us during the COVID time. And so, yeah, I see some of you in the comments already letting me know that. And during COVID was really when we're all in lockdown, and so the ministry became very popular because people were hungry. They were searching for a word of the Lord. But one of the things they said, and all the things you've said that have come to pass, why is it that you didn't see COVID? And my answer to that, as a young prophet back then, I'm a lot younger than I am now, was, well, I'm sorry. Today, in the year where hindsight is now 2026, as my book so suggests, I look back on a particular prophetic word that the Lord spoke to me concerning COVID, but I didn't know it was concerning COVID until somebody on my media team said, hey, that's the word of the Lord for COVID. That was it. Maybe God didn't show you COVID-19 specifically, but he did show you the surroundings of COVID-19 and what was going to be said. Now, in case you don't remember, I want you to take a look at this video that I've done.
The Lord says, 2020, I will raise up the challengers and the disruptors. This will be a day of the new normal.
2020 is now the deadliest year in U.S. history.
The new normal.
Our new normal.
New normal.
The new normal.
Now, the new normal. It was so interesting. The Lord revealed the surroundings, not necessarily the virus. So I said, 2020 is going to be called the year of the new normal. Yes, I was still in the UK, bourgeois CA. You remember, 2020 was going to be the year called the new normal. Now, why didn't God call it the year of COVID to me? Because I don't think he wanted us to get distracted by the prediction of a virus that we missed the season we've crossed into. And actually, prophetically, profoundly, news pundits began to echo exactly what the Spirit of God had said, that we're crossing into the year called the new normal. Now, I see 104 of you have hit like, hit share. Please get this word out to as many people as possible. You help to drive this word to everybody around the world. I'm grateful for every like. I'm grateful for every share. Now, why is this important? Because prophetically, we are still in the era of the new normal, and we're still trying to somehow get ourselves back to the old shape. And the Spirit of God said to me that 2030 was going to be a new normal. If you thought 2020 was a new normal, 2030 is going to be the year of a new normal. Now, what does this mean? It means that we've got to begin to stop moving with anxiety, stop moving with fear, and start moving with the spirit of revelation to prepare as if we were those that knew that 2020 was coming. Now we have a new forecast for a new future for the body of Christ, where we're going from utopia, and the Spirit of God said, to dystopia. That doesn't mean the church can't live in a kingdom reality. Now, I coined that kingdom reality Goshen. Others have coined it Canaan, the promised land. Whatever you want to coin it is irrelevant. The focus is that you and I have got to get to a strategic location spiritually where we begin to become the deciders of what happens in that dystopian future. And so that's what we call the new normal. Let me ask you all a question. If you knew COVID was coming and the new normal had greater definition, what would you have invested in? What would you have bought? Okay, some of you clever people say AstraZeneca. I would have invested in stocks of Johnson & Johnson. But let's go back into that season. What really, I would have bought tons of masks, because masks turned out to be the thing that was in demand. Now, I also gave another prophecy. I don't know if you remember it, but I said the UK is going to go through extreme weather patterns. You're going to see extreme heat. Now, you know what a Joseph does? When he hears that a famine is coming, you know what a Joseph does? A Joseph doesn't sit back and go, well, when the word of the Lord comes to pass, praise God. And then when it came to pass, wow, we're starving, we're all dying, but thank God for that word of the Lord, because it gives us peace in our death. No, Joseph invested in the stock, literally the stock of Egypt. And he used a bullish season to invest and store up for a bearish trend that was coming. See, hand sanitizer, so clever. Home Depot, okay, we're already getting so many answers, right? He used a bullish season to invest for a bearish season. Now, I feel prophetically like many of us are crossing into a new 2030 season where life is going to be somewhat unpredictable again. And we're not supposed to listen to prophets and go, well, praise God for that word of the Lord. It's great. We're supposed to listen to prophets and go, okay, how can our outcome be different? Or as the scripture says, which I love, by the way, contrary to popular online opinion, when men are cast down in the earth. I don't know if Jep is on here. Maybe he'll surprise me and pull up some scriptures. If he's not, I understand. I didn't even prepare him for that. But Job 22 verse 29, when men are cast down in the earth, then you will say, there is a lifting up. When men are cast down in the earth, this is your prophetic promise. I want you to grab a hold of it. When men are cast down in the earth, when the economy crashes, I will say there is a lifting up. Somebody say, my case will be different. You will defy the statistic. Toilet paper, what a wise person Michael is. Toilet paper, of course, because when we're in lockdown, toilet paper was a huge commodity, right? When men are cast down in the earth, the truth is, you and I are going to say there is a lifting up. Right. So what happened during COVID? Right. I became known during COVID. The ministry shot up during COVID. That's Job 22 verse 29. Another place, if I can give you a promise of God that will encourage you, is in Isaiah 58 verse 11. The Lord will guide you always. He will satisfy your needs in a sun-scorched land and will strengthen your frame. You will be like a well-watered garden, like a spring whose waters never fail. If anybody just claims that, just say, I claim that for myself. There is a shift in the spirit that we're coming into we're going from the new normal to the new normal to life as we know it will never be the same again. And that shouldn't make you anxious. that should make you hopeful, because Jesus said, I have told you these things now before they come, so that in me you will have peace. So we prophesied, we spoke about this new normal. And then the Spirit of God began to, I don't know if you remember COVID time, I started to talk about COVID, right? At a time where it wasn't popular and you could get banned from YouTube. And indeed, I got banned from YouTube for talking about COVID. And my belief was that I was getting rid of the lies that COVID will put 5G antenna in your head. I don't know if you remember that lie that went around, that COVID will somehow put 5G antenna in your head, and taking the vaccine will turn you into a human animal, your anamorph into something. All these wild conspiracy theories going around. So I decided to do a video, but I decided to do it for the case for not taking the vaccine. My case for not taking the vaccine was, it is a test in compliance, social compliance. We're all being trained, we're all being coached for the day when the mark of the beast comes. And sadly, 2020 told me that many people, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about your neighbor, many people will take this vaccine. Many Christians, many believers, will take this microchip. Many believers are going to take the microchip. 2020 told me that. It proved to me that believers are so gullible that they have no ability to take a righteous stand when a righteous stand is necessary. And there are moments, and we are coming into moments, again, past 2030, where the church will have to take a stand even against its own government. That doesn't mean take up arms. Please don't soundbite me and say, I'm saying take up arms and bear guns. You see, we started to twist the scripture. It says, submit to your rulers. I heard one pastor say, submit to your rulers, to them that have rule over you. Sit down and listen to them. A prophet told me, don't be traveling around during COVID. I was traveling around. Listen, I didn't take the vaccine I still didn't take it, right? I was moving everywhere, up and down, traveling, flying, all of those things. I didn't take it. I didn't touch it. Why? Because I didn't want to submit to the test of compliance, where the first part of that is to create a dichotomy in society called pro-vax, anti-vax. They did it with Brexit. Oh, you're a Brexiter. Oh, you're a Remainer. And all the Brexiters were stupid, and all the Remainers were really smart. Same thing with vaccine. Oh, you're pro-vax, or you're anti-vax. Same thing with abortion. Oh, you're pro-life. You're pro-choice. It's these narratives that are created to divide us into cosmetic archetypes, so that once we're divided into those archetypes, the wiser, more enlightened creatures in society can easily just cast us off as crazy loony bin conspiracy theorists. But truth be told, I didn't take it because I'm anti-vax. I took it because I'm pro-God, I'm pro-Christ, and I believe there are moments where every single one of us has to speak truth to power. And Daniel did this to Nebuchadnezzar when Nebuchadnezzar told him to bow down to the statue, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. And what did he say? He said, oh, Nebuchadnezzar, in this matter, we are not even mindful. That means there's got to come a point where the church develops a spine and realizes you are God's shadow government in the earth, and you obey leaders, government officials, so long as they are complying and aligning with the will and the word of God. So let me show you this next video where I was talking about this vaccine, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if you remember who this person is. Who knows who this person is? Somehow during 2020 our paths collided and we encountered each other. Somehow I became somehow entangled in the Black Panther actress called Letitia Wright, right? Who remembers Letitia Wright? She stars in Black Panther in one of the Marvel movies. I just went to bed after that video. Woke up one morning and I got a message. I think it was from the MSNBC or one of the news people. And then another news anchor showed up at our house back then. This is Black Panther, the movie, the Marvel movie actress, Letitia Wright. If you've ever watched the Marvel movies, that's who she is. And somehow I found myself entangled in this narrative. Hey, do you want to talk about your latest scandal involving Letitia Wright? I was like, latest scandal? What did I do? And I found out that Letitia Wright shared my video And the next day, and this is really important, the next day that video was deleted. My YouTube channel was somewhat banned for a few days. And then newspaper articles were running for 24 to 48 hours everywhere all over the world, casting me off as a loony bin conspiracy theorist, self-proclaimed prophet. Who remembers? At least Linda remembers that period. In case you don't remember, this is a 2020 version of me.
2 days later, my staff received an email from NBC News asking me to do a telephone interview. It read, "Hi Tomi, I hope you're well. I'm a journalist at NBC News. I'm writing a story today about Letitia Wright and the video of yours she shared. Would you have time for a brief interview today ASAP? Or you're welcome to email a statement or comment in relation to the uproar. Thanks, Ayla Solomon." I honestly had no idea what she was talking about, as our videos get tons of shares. At first I thought she may have been referring to the End SARS piece that I did that was reshared by Letitia. I then received an avalanche of messages, first from my staff, then from others concerned for mine and my family's well-being, alerting me to the fact that my name was in every, and I mean every, newspaper in the world, next to Letitia Wright. Papers wrongly informing people that I am an anti-vaxxer, that I stated a vaccine would put antennas in people's heads and that I was transphobic.
There were all of these papers, and many of them had my face plastered to them. And if you still Google Tomi Arayomi, Letitia Wright, you'll see those. Now, why is that important? Because in the testing compliance season that we had just come out of, cancel culture became the precursor to silencing the church. And these things only happened just yesterday. It's amazing to me how we've forgotten this. This wasn't long ago. This was just 2020. We've all come out of it. We're like, okay, life can go back to normal. We don't have to listen to prophets anymore. We can just go back to normal life. And what we don't realize is that happened. We were being canceled. People were being cut off of social media. People were having their bank accounts frozen. I don't know if you remember, people were being fired from their jobs. Maybe some of you lost your job. This was just like 2020. How quick we forget now that we're in the wonderful period of 2026, how quick we forget what happened moments ago as our government locked us in our houses. They told us we couldn't go outside. They told us we couldn't bury our grandma, who died of a virus that, to date, we still haven't found out where that virus came from. And somehow we just want to move on and live our lives as if the next new normal is not around the corner, and somehow we shouldn't be prepared for that. And so, this is something that I believe we've got to look seriously into. But I want to show you, some of the most irritating videos of that period, just to bring back your wonderful feelings of nostalgia. I don't know if you remember Dr. Rochelle Walensky. I think she was like the CDC director, if I'm correct. I may be wrong, under Biden during that time. Somebody said I lost my business. I mean, these things were just like yesterday. Listen to what she said. Irritated me when I heard this, by the way.
Dr. Walensky, in my last minute here, let me just ask you, the CDC says that while fewer children have been sick with COVID-19 compared to adults, children can be infected, get sick, and spread the virus. With the authorization of Pfizer yesterday for children 12 to 15, what would you say to parents who are considering getting their kids vaccinated now?
I would encourage all parents to get their children vaccinated. I know many parents are enthusiastic and have been texting me, can't wait to get their children vaccinated. vaccinated. I recognize that some parents want to sort of see how it goes first, but I am encouraging all parents to get their children vaccinated. Some parents won't want to be first, but I'm also encouraging children to ask for the vaccine.
I'm encouraging. What? I'm also encouraging children to get the vaccine. I'm encouraging, I'm also telling children. Now, it gets worse. Not just am I, I'm going to take this back. Not just am I encouraging children to get the vaccine, right? Just listen.
So encouraging children to ask for the vaccine. I have a 16-year-old myself, and I can tell you he wanted to get the vaccine. He wants his life back. These kids want to go back to school. They want to go back to the things they love.
I'm encouraging children. Look,
I recognize that some parents want to sort of see how it goes first, but I am encouraging all parents to get their children vaccinated. Some parents won't want to be first, but I'm also encouraging children to ask for the vaccine.
I'm encouraging children to go to their parents and say, Dad, Mom, I really want the vaccine. Please give it to me so I can get my life back to normal. Somehow we were all kind of shelved into a cattle class. We were no better than cattle that were being shipped off into quarantine chambers. I do remember the isolation camps. We were being shipped off into isolation camps, being told to shut up and get stabbed. And I'm telling you, if you think that was bad, you haven't seen what my eyes have seen past 2030 if we think that this period between 2020 and 2030 is just we can go back to normal. No, we have crossed into the year of the new normal, and we are crossing into the year prophetically of the new normal. And you're going to watch back this video just like you watch back over my prophecies. Now, again, and you're going to say, I really wish I listened. Now, just in case you don't remember, during this period, the Lord gave me this word of the Lord.
People thought the COVID era had somehow gone away and we had all kind of moved on. I saw medical cases and lawsuits that could no longer be ignored. And this kind of movement was louder than even the Me Too movement that we've experienced. And all of a sudden, people who had been damaged physically, mentally, lost loved ones during that season, people who had taken the jab and it had affected them physically, emotionally, mentally. To date, they're not healed. I saw the gag order being lifted and them being given permission to even speak about some of the atrocities that they experienced. And I heard the Lord say, I will lift the gag order, and there will be many voices that are going to speak in this season. But in the midst of it, there's going to be a whirlwind of confusion and distraction to move people away from the main point.
Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to speak to what I believe that distraction is. I'm going to speak to what I believe is moving people away from the main point. But look what's happening now. And remember, that word was March 21st, 2024. We're now in July 30th, 2026. Am I right? 2026? And this is what's happening right now. Fauci has just been called up to do... Oh, somebody said there's an echo. There's an echo? Is there an echo? Ooh, let me go back. Okay, can you hear me now? Has the echo disappeared? Echo disappeared. So we've been called now into this kind of weird new phase where Fauci, just yesterday, for those of you who were watching. Now I'm going to tell you what we can do. Those of you who were watching, Fauci just came out and he was like, called to testify before Senate, and he said, I'm so happy to testify. Finally, I'm looking forward to telling people how I became rich whilst all of you were locked in your houses.
I
I am very happy to testify before any congressional oversight committee. I have nothing to hide. I can explain and validate everything that I've done.
Now, the same gentleman that said, I have nothing to hide, I'm so happy, I can't wait to come before Senate and testify, is standing here before Senate and testifying, and this is what he says.
What day of the week is it today?
I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color tie are you wearing?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
What color is carpet in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment.
So here he is, excited to testify. Like, I can't wait to testify. It's going to be great. And then finally, he gets to testify, a man who has already been exonerated by President Biden, and he's like, on the advice of counsel, I refuse to testify about what is the 5th largest pandemic in the world globally. Millions of people passed away around the globe. And if I'm correct, it was like 100 and something times he just said, I plead the 5th, I plead the 5th, I plead the 5th. Now, pleading the 5th is not an admission of guilt, but it's a weird thing to do when you've already been cleared and exonerated, unless you believe you have something to hide. Now, I know his diary entries have been released and all of that, and I don't think I'm going to spend time in that. You can hear gossip pages for that. I just want to stay on the prophetic side. But I mean, he constantly flip-flopped. He flip-flopped on wearing masks, and please forgive the echo if it's there. I don't quite know how to get rid of it, but he flip-flopped on wearing masks. I don't know if you remember this.
Right now in the United States, people should not be walking around with masks.
You're sure of it? Because people are listening really closely to this.
Right now, people should not be walking. There's no reason to be walking around with a mask.
It's time to double up and wear two. This morning, Dr. Fauci endorsed the idea on the Today Show.
If you have a physical covering with one layer, you put another layer on, it just makes common sense that it likely would be more effective.
Don't wear one mask. People should never be wearing a mask. It's a silly thing to wear masks. Okay, now people should definitely be wearing two masks. I mean, it's common sense. It's like he was just making it up as it went along. Now, before I continue, I want to show you all the things that are going to irritate you as much as they irritated me, and then I'm going to tell you what I believe we need to do prophetically. But take a look at some of the, just give you some nostalgia, just to remind you of what that new normal felt like, being locked in your home, and you have to listen to this.
No lockdowns anymore. We can finally walk out the door. The sunlight is a fantasy. It still doesn't feel real to me. Vaccine.
Free fries when you get vaccinated? I got vaccinated. You're saying I could get this? These delicious fries? Wait a minute. But there's also a burger element to this?
You remember getting free fries to get vaccinated? What a condescending... I'm saved. I'm born again.
Dr. Fauci, give us vaccines. Help all the people who have been quarantined. We'll wear our masks and we'll have to stay distant. We'll wash our hands and we'll be...
Okay, that's enough. I'm going to throw up in my teeth. But these are the things that happened. I want to remind you, why am I doing this? Because I need to snap you out of this. We're on a runway. We're not at the end of the road. We're on a runway to something that is arguably going to be worse than this world that we just managed to somehow escape, somehow by the grit of our teeth, watching all these actors walking around like they were the enlightened ones, telling us all well done for staying in our houses and singing worship songs to AstraZeneca. Before I continue, I want to hop over to a quick promo, and we'll be right back.
Hi everyone, this is Invest Like a Prophet. This is part of the Prophet Education series by being a member of Bishop Tomi Arayomi's YouTube. I want to invite you, don't miss it, it's amazing. 6 modules, 18 classes. From the very beginning you're going to learn what even is the stock market, and to the very end of how to invest in it, not trade, invest, how to actually not lose your money and make a lot more. Don't miss, God is speaking. Joseph monetized the revelation for what was coming. Noah acted on the revelation and he built a boat and he saved his whole family. Don't just stay with knowledge. Don't just know the prophecies of what's coming. Do something about it. This is the way that we're telling you how God is telling us what to do. And then I know you will be blessed by this content as well. Join. Don't miss it. It's a time to listen to God. God bless you.
That is our promo for our membership class. If you'd like to be a part of the membership, you can do so now by signing up by hitting join membership. The link is also in the description. If you would like to be a part of the seat at the table, we're 500 of you right now. Congratulations to the 500 of you who are seat at the table members. I hope you're enjoying all the videos. We've just crossed over into a new video called Invest Like a Prophet, where Santi is going to be showing you how he hears the prophetic words that I share and prophetic words that he has, and he utilizes them in how he invests in hearing the voice of God in the stock market as well. You can join there really easily. I think it's like $10-15 or something like that a month, and access that membership class and get a seat at the table. All right, back to so we had all kinds of annoying singing celebrities. We had free French fries that were being given to us by the then thank God retired governor of California, mayor maybe of California. We had lots more annoying songs that I'm not going to bore you with. But one of the things that really stood out to me was the thought that potentially this virus was started on the back of potentially animal sacrifice. And I think we missed that part. I think we missed the part during COVID where somebody actually said that there was an altar that was being built that started this virus. And this takes it from being very practically scientific to being a place where altars and no more irritating videos where altars oh gosh, there's a Fauci doll here. Oh, I'm gonna show you. Hey, who wants this? Maybe we'll advertise this next on Seats at the Table. Everybody who joins gets a free Fauci doll as part of your your subscription. Now yes, who remembers when Fauci told us? He kind of told us flippantly that actually COVID started because of somebody built an altar to a pagan idol. He told us it, but he said it so glibly that we almost missed it. In case you don't remember, here it is. I'm going to try and mute myself so there's no annoying echo.
We don't know exactly what that animal was, but some animal, probably in a wet market, where they bring in a variety of different types of wild game, and people sacrifice them, particularly around holidays like the Lunar New Year. It is totally not surprising that you're seeing the facilitation of this jump from the animal species to the human.
Did you hear it? Maybe you missed it. Let me just share that altar again.
We don't know exactly what that animal was, but some animal, probably in a wet market, where they bring in a variety of different types of wild game, and people sacrifice them, particularly around holidays, like the
people. So his running theory is that somehow during an animal sacrifice to a deity, and by the way, I have the name of that deity somewhere in my notes. Laji was one of them. Another one was called the I think his name was like the Lord of the Garden or something like that. And these were sacrifices to deities, actually, and many of the deities of Chinese folklore, I know it's laughable, that the head of science, the priest of science, is now offering us a spiritual insight into how this thing actually started. Who knew that the COVID vaccine, the COVID virus was started off of the bat of the citizens of China choosing to sacrifice to a deity. But I want to move on to something I think is really important here that's worth mentioning, and it's in my notes somewhere. And it's the fact that to date, although we're all hanging Fauci, the Lord told me, don't get distracted. Fauci is just the theater. He's likely not going to get anything but humiliation, maybe lose some finances, hiring lawyers, and walk up a shame of humiliation. But he's not the real issue here. There's a far deeper concern that I actually heard the Lord say to me. Okay, first thing the Lord said to me is, what's the virus rankings around the world for most serious pandemics to least serious pandemics? And of course, I'm gonna list them to you, okay? And maybe you'll spot what I saw. Maybe you'll see it. The Black Death. Who remembers the Black Death of 1346? If you went to school, you know that 1346 to 1353. The Black Death was the first. It killed the most people. Then second was the 1918 Spanish flu or influenza. Then third was HIV/AIDS. Fourth in rank was the plague of Justinian in 541 onwards. And then number 5, ranking number 5 in terms of deaths and fatality, is COVID, which estimates approximately in total since past 2023, 22.1 million global deaths around the world. That is insane. 22.1 million deaths from COVID. Now, why is that important? Well, let's find out where the most notable viruses came from. 1957, H2N2. Where did that come from? It came from, yes, you guessed it, China. H3N2. Where did that come from? 1968? Yes, you guessed it, Hong Kong, China. SARS-CoV-1, because remember, SARS came in versions. 2002. Where did it come from? Guangdong, China. H5N1 avian flu 1997. Where did it come from? Yes, you guessed it, H1. It came from Hong Kong, China. COVID-19, SARS, CoV-2. Remember the one we all lived through. Where did it come from? Wuhan, China. All of these top viruses that have been released have all come from China. And World Health Organization says China has not provided requested information, including hundreds of early SARS-2 CoV-2. Remember, CoV-2 is not the same as SARS-CoV-1, right? Really important that you understand that. COVID was first discovered in China in 2002. The pandemic happened in 2019, entering into 2020, when we first saw the first outbreak of COVID. Now it's important for us to chart all of these things because China still has not released the information regarding what happened to 22 million people. Don't you think that should be a bigger problem than Fauci's diary? The 22 million people were wiped off the face of the earth because of a virus, and to date, the number one ground zero for most viruses in the world is refusing to release its information as to the origins of SARS-CoV-2. Now, the issue I find here is it is possible in virology, and I'm not a virologist, so please, if I'm wrong and somebody here is a virologist or you work in virology, please feel free to correct me. But in virology, there is what's called a reservoir, and then there's what's called an intermediary. A reservoir is like the thing believed to carry a virus, right? So the bat in this case is the reservoir. Now, most of us have been told what I believe is the lie, that this thing happened by zoonotic spillover. Zoonotic spillover is simply it came from animals through a reservoir, through a bat, into what's called an intermediary, which would be like something capable of transmitting, another animal capable of transmitting into human beings, right? And then that thing capable of transmitting into human beings was a key that found a lock in the human cell, and it chants into that. I ChatGPT this. I did my due ChatGPT diligence, and I said, what are the chances of that happening? Has that ever happened in nature? And although COVID-1, we found a jump from animals to human beings through a reservoir to an intermediary to a human, we have never to date in science seen a case where COVID-2 has jumped from an animal to a human being. The chances of that right now are 1 in 100,000. 1 in 100,000 chance that COVID-2, which, let's face it, was synthetic, in my opinion, manufactured in a lab, in my opinion, and not just my opinion, what I believe is what I see, has been manufactured in a lab and synthesized to kill people, to cause mass fatalities, as the fatality we have seen. Now, why are we afraid to admit that? I mean, even this is not a left-wing, right-wing issue, by the way. This is not left-wing, right-wing. I mean, look at left-wing people sitting there on left-wing channels even saying this. I don't know who this man is. Maybe you know who he is.
What do you mean by that? Do you mean like perhaps there's a chance that there's an investigation?
A chance?
Well, what do you mean by that? Do you mean like perhaps there's a chance that this was created in a lab, there's an investigation?
A chance?
Well,
oh my
if
God.
there's evidence, I'd love to hear it.
There's a novel respiratory coronavirus overtaking Wuhan, China. What do? Oh, you know who we could ask? The Wuhan novel respiratory coronavirus lab. The disease is the same name as the lab. That's just a little too weird, don't you think? And then they ask those scientists, they're like, how did this... So wait a minute, you work at the Wuhan respiratory coronavirus lab. How did this happen? And they're like, a pangolin kissed a turtle. And you're like, no, you did it.
I'm glad we could laugh about it, but it's stupid. But somehow, 21 million people have died, according to the World Health Organization, and we've all moved on. Why? Because there are implications of it being deliberate. If President Trump were to admit that this thing was deliberate, which he won't, by the way, he won't, but if he were to ever admit that this thing were deliberate, it would literally spark World War III. And that's not an exaggeration. The implications would be enormous. First, it would move the event from biosafety failure to the realm of biological warfare and bioterrorism, depending upon who performed it and for what purpose. International law, including the Biological Weapons Convention, prohibits developing or possessing biological agents for hostile purposes. So this is the distraction that we're all avoiding. We're all avoiding the question that we're afraid to ask, that if this thing was developed deliberately to kill 22.1 million people, that would make Xi Jinping a bioterrorist. Now, Fauci and his cute diary and what he wrote, and this little scapegoat that we're all watching in the American theater because we love watching him get roasted. I mean, let's face it, there's nothing more satisfying than watching senators stick it to the man and maybe even use profane language if that's your cup of tea. Like.
Thank you.
There was a mom in Ohio during the depth of the coronavirus pandemic, decided to go to her high school football game for her son. They sat alone, far from everybody else, just a mom, a dad, a few kids. They didn't feel they needed to wear masks because it was stupid, because they were outside. They all live together. They're not near anybody. Those policies were put in place because you had moronic politicians that listened to the words of a megalomaniac who was more interested in having met a Kardashian than the suffering of the American people, and that is you. Your advice to communities like that, to idiotic politicians who enforce those rules, arrested that mom for watching a football game with her own family outside. When that story broke, I said to myself, I cannot stand idly on the side and watch this happen. It was about 6 years ago today that I decided I'm going to give up my businesses, sell them all, run for office, run for the United States Senate. Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the do you think you were for doing that?
Don't we just love that? America. That's the gentleman from Ohio saying, who the blankety bleepity. And we're like, yeah, stick it to him. 22 million people died. And we're turning America into a movie. And let's face it, what is that really? That is, that's election fodder. That's going to be used. That scene, that clip, and the clip of the attorney being thrown out of the, which was fun to watch as well. Can't lie. Americans love when we go WWE in the House of Senate, and the gentleman from Ohio uses a exotic word to describe an old man. But at the end of the day, Fauci is like the scapegoat for something that we're all too afraid to say. That most of the viruses around the world have a unique coincidence of coming from China. China is geared to be the next big superpower of the world. It benefits from the global economy shutting down. China became the place where most pharmaceuticals were sold. China became the place where masks were shipped and manufactured at scale around the world. So whilst we're all sitting down playing WWE and watching Ted Cruz stick it to an old man, we're getting distracted from the fact that we're heading into an era where China will own the majority of the world's wealth. And a country that has given itself to communism, the thing that America has been fighting since, I don't know, the wars of our fathers, the GIs, we're slipping into that world. And that is the new normal that we're coming into, where America in name only is a superpower, and the real powers are the ones that are buying up gold, which is China. And if we're not alert to this, then we're not going to see that this communist country that's not afraid to experiment on 22 million lives. I saw something really, really odd, and I'm struggling to share it with you, just like I've struggled to share a lot of things with you, but I've started to see more and more things come to pass, so I'm going to share this. I was closing my eyes, praying, on God, what's happening? All of a sudden, I found myself in these labs, but I didn't see experimentation on viruses. I saw this kind of image. I picked this image off of Google But I saw this image, and I said, God, it was this kind of image. It wasn't exactly this. I said, oh, God, what is this? He said that the next race, the Lord began to speak to me, coming from China. And you're going to see it. You're going to see it. You're going to see Chimera-like experimentation on humans merged with animals. It's illegal right now globally, but it's happening right now as my eyes have seen it in the spirit in China. This is the dystopian world we're going to slip into. The dystopian world is going to be anthropomorphic, if that's the right word, anamorphic may be the better word, and transhumanist, where the very definition of what is a human being is going to be up for question should this superpower take the lead. Now, what can we do? Okay, I'm so glad you asked. Stop praying for the destruction of America. I don't care how bad you think America is. What's going to replace it is going to be 10 to 50 to 100 to 1,000 times worse than what's happening in front of it right now. And sadly, the wickedness of the world we are entering into is going to call for the kind of leadership that may not be your cup of tea, but it's a halting, not a stopping, but a halting to what was otherwise slipping into a demonic agenda. Listen, the scale was already in motion. It was already in motion when boys were being told they could be girls and girls were being told they could be boys, and we all settled into this kind of dystopian world where we were being forced to comply. Our speech was being conformed and composed for us. We were being told what to say. Say that's a boy, it's a boy, was born a girl, but let's just live in the world where the loonies run. And soon we're going to slip into the world where human is going to be. Marriage was redefined. We never thought that would happen. Gender was redefined. We never thought that would happen. The next definition is going to be what constitutes a human being. And as we slip into many convergences, the threat of Islam, which is a threat as well, as we converge into the threat of the end of masculinity, manhood, which is also a big threat. And I'm going to do a live on Andrew Tate. Very interesting person. I'm going to do a live on what the Lord spoke to me about. Why is Andrew Tate being the most attacked man on the internet right now? Right? I'm going to do a live on him. Not that I agree with him, by the way. Not that I agree with, because I don't. I'm going to do a live on him. And so we're facing the threat of Islam. We're facing the threat of the end of masculinity, the emasculation of men, the transgendering of our children. We're facing also the threat of artificial intelligence, which artificial intelligence, whether we like it or not, it's going to render humanity a cattle class. And a more defined cattle class, because for the first time, human beings have created their own apex predator. They've created something capable of killing them. Soon those things will be sentient to some degree. And so human beings, or this blended human with whatever it is that's been blended with, will start to challenge the question, what is a human being even in itself? And so what can we do? Okay, here's what we can do. We can either sit there and go, well, who cares? Jesus Christ is coming back soon. Or we can do what Luke chapter 19 says, occupy till I come. Do business. Some translation says, till I return. Invest my money, some translations say, till I return. And so when I ask you all to get a seat at the table and we try to make it affordable enough to pay staff who are actually working hard to put up those videos, believe me, that's literally what we're doing. We're paying them. We're trying to hire more staff because videos can't go up fast enough. We're literally telling you to take responsibility for your own prophetic future. Don't let the next pandemic come and your hands are in your pocket saying, well, I didn't know this was going to happen. So you can join right now, be a part of this membership. We've made it as cheap can be. You can cancel your Netflix subscription, go get a pizza another day, and be a part of something that when 2030 hits, you'll be like, we were already enlightened. We knew this was coming. We're preparing our Goshens. We're not, last time I gave a crazy prophecy. Do you remember? I said I saw the day where we're all going to eat synthetic meat, and people are going to tell us to eat insects. And some religious person did a video. Prophet Tomi says we're all going to eat synthetic meat. What an idiot. I don't sound so stupid now. I mean, Bill Gates is literally in the process of preparing. Florida just banned fake synthetic meat. We're not getting there. We are already there. We're already in the day where you got to know what's going into your stomach. You better believe it's time to go back to cattle. It's time to go back to cows and sheep and donkeys and horses, and knowing actually what you're eating, because that's what the uppers are going to be eating. They're going to be eating real steak, whilst you're going to be eating something that grew in a lab. And you already are in McDonald's. You just don't know it yet. But that's the era, that's the world we're coming into if the church doesn't wake up, take responsibility for its own economy, its own well-being, and gets a seat at the table. So one more time, here's that promo. And thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please, everybody, don't be stingy. Hit the like button, hit the share button, get this word out. Share in the comments below something that you learned after the video. And if you don't join the membership, I'll continue doing lives for free here. I enjoy talking to you. Thank you for spending Thursday with me. God bless you. See you tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. Central Time sharp for prayer. God bless.
Hi everyone, this is Invest Like a Prophet. This is part of the Prophet Education series. By being a member of Bishop-elect Tomi Arayomi's YouTube, I want to invite you, don't miss it. It's amazing. 6 modules, 18 classes. From the very beginning, you're gonna learn what even is the stock market, and to the very end of how to invest in it, not trade, invest, how to actually not lose your money and make a lot more. Don't miss it. God is speaking. Joseph monetized on the revelation for what was coming. Noah acted on the revelation and he built a boat and he saved his whole family. Don't just stay with the knowledge. Don't just know the prophecies of what's coming. Do something about it. This is the way that we're telling you how God is telling us what to do. And then I know you will be blessed by this content as well. Join. Don't miss it. It's a time to listen to God. God bless you.